One of the things Joe Biden ran a lot on was doing things in a bipartisan way once he became president and crossing the aisle, working with Republicans, stuff like that. And there was a lot of skepticism, including from me, that there was going to be any situations where he'd be able to do that successfully. But seems to be the case. There have been some pretty significant achievements that were done in a bipartisan way. And the Biden administration has kind of taken a victory lap with that, releasing a statement that lays out in it the bipartisan policy achievements of the Biden administration that I want to take a look at with you. So of course, as we always caveat this type of stuff, it's not enough. We wish we could have seen more across bipartisan and not bipartisan, just across his administration. More achievements are called for in this moment, but within the political climate that we're in, a lot of this is significant. So the first thing they put down in this statement is the biggest infrastructure investments since Dwight Eisenhower created the interstate highway system are at work rebuilding America, with projects set to ramp up in 2023. That's of course referring to the bipartisan infrastructure bill, which wasn't perfect and it could have been so much more, but was good, and it's better that it happened than not. Second thing, an unprecedented China competitiveness law is already bringing jobs back to America and accelerating the manufacturing resurgence the president is leading. That's talking about the CHIPS Act, which again, good. I mean, sometimes the Republican fear-mongering about China is wrong, oftentimes, but the overall feeling of, hey, let's make sure that we're competitive economically and continue to be, and specifically with certain types of technology, have manufacturing here so that we're not completely beholden to China for that. Third thing, the most impactful gun reform since 1994 is fighting gun crime and helping save innocent lives. Wasn't the biggest thing ever. We could have gotten so much more on gun reform, or we should have, but I don't know if we could have within the bipartisan framework. 4, the first major legislation to provide medical care for veterans who were exposed to burn pits in the line of duty is now in force. That's the PACT Act, also good. A civil rights breakthrough, this is number 5, is now protecting the fundamental American right to marry who you love. Good. The Respect for Marriage Act. Number 6, the Violence Against Women Act, the president wrote as a senator, has been reauthorized. Also good. And number 7, critical military and economic support for Ukraine is standing up for our national security interests and our democratic values as we reclaim our leadership role on the world stage. So within the context of an incredibly divided American political climate and having to deal with the current Republican Party, that's a pretty good set of achievements to have done with them in the room, to have done in a bipartisan way. And then you look at things outside of that, the Inflation Reduction Act as one of them that are also really significant. And then all of these things, I always say, not enough. Really good, not enough. And so hopefully it's going to be tough to do anything in the next 2 years because the Republican Party will have the House. But I do dream of a world where a Democratic president takes over in 2024 and can really push the needle forward, or push the needle in the right direction in a significant way. But for something that Joe Biden campaigned on, which was getting things done, at least in part, in a bipartisan manner, I think he fulfilled that campaign promise when it comes to the last two years of his presidency in a way that a lot of people probably didn't expect.